Well guys, to call all the ICOs a scam and to choose to stay away from all the ICOs can really be a very bad idea. And the reason I say that, the ICOs are the new way of funding startups. Now, the way I look at it, all the startups or all the ICOs will become someday Google, Facebook, Snapchat, or whatever, right? And to say that all the ICOs are scam is not a good idea. So yesterday there was an article which was published by CZ, the CEO of Binance, and he clearly points out all the points. He's saying that the ICOs are not just only a good way of raising funds, but this is also a very necessary thing. And so one of the points that he mentioned, and which is so true, is blockchain. One of the reasons why we love blockchain so much is that it is decentralizing the power. So, for example, the decentralizing the power of money, which was earlier printed by the governments. Now, you have these cryptocurrencies, which is a decentralized currency. And similarly, it comes to venture capitalists. Earlier, the power of investing was only with the VCs, so-called VCs. So, if you have to make some investment into Facebook, Uber, give VCs your money. You are not authorized to invest directly because they won't take your money, right? They won't take your small couple of $1 million, a couple of $1,000, but they will go to VCs. But today, with the introduction of ICO with the smart contract Ethereum, that's all possible. But of course, not all the ICOs are legit. Some of them are scams as well. But to say that all the ICOs are scam and so that I will stay away from it might be a bad idea. So I would definitely recommend you to go ahead and read this article, which is written by the CEO of Binance, right? So he says the countries which will support ICOs will grow 100 times faster than the countries which will not support. For example, US is not supporting ICOs, so people cannot participate into an ICO, which is really horrible, right? And then so there are two things. One is from the investor's point of view, one from the entrepreneur's point of view. So let's say if you had a startup and you want to raise funds, I mean, just imagine how much time does it take for a startup to raise from a VC? It takes a lot of time. It takes about 6 months, sometimes a year, sometimes 2 years, because it's a centralized way. You have to make PowerPoint, and this is what is written here. So to raise just as small as $10 million, $20 million, you have to make PowerPoints. You have to convince those VCs guys. You have to pay them for the traveling, and you have to impress them. You have to make them happy in order to get their money, right? And so you're spending a lot of money in actually pleasing people instead of building your project. And that's when the ICO comes into picture. Now, all of a sudden, you don't have to please anyone. You just have to define on the white paper what exactly are you building. And if people like your idea, people support your vision, people see the strength in you, they are ready to fund with their money, even the small money. And all of a sudden, you can raise all those funds within a couple of days, right? So that's from the investor's point of view. That's from the entrepreneur's point of view. And also from the investor's point of view, the people now can participate into these big companies or small companies with as low as $1,000 as well, and can multiply their investments. And not only that, there is no lock-in period. So none of the ICOs actually tells you that, oh, your money is with me for 1 year or 2 years. As soon as they get listed on the exchange, anyone is free to go ahead and sell those tokens and multiply their money and take their investments back, right? So truly, blockchain the ICOs have decentralized the venture capitalists. In fact, a lot of venture capitalists are actually investing into ICOs, to be surprised, right? So why do you want to go ahead and approach a VCs for your investment? Why won't you do it yourself? And of course, he also mentioned a point about scams, right? So of course, there are so many scams, right? So he said the scams exist everywhere. So he's given an example of like how you receive an SMS that you have won so many thousands or so many millions of dollars. You need to send a small amount of money onto this bank account. Like how you have, you send me 0.1 Ethereum, I'll send you 1 Ethereum or 10 Ethereum. So these kind of scams are going to be there. The simplest way to avoid these scams is to be educated, to learn about things. And he also mentioned that most of the people who are investing in the ICOs are also learners, right? So Definitely, ICOs are something that we should all be looking at, in my opinion, right? Of course, you guys also suggest that this is an ICO good, this is a good ICO, which I'm always welcome, right? So ICOs are really, really important in order to grow our investment. Again, this is not a financial advice or investment advice. Like all the startups, right? All the startups never become a Facebook, never become a Google, all right? Most of the startups do fail. So always keep that in mind, that when you're investing into ICO, you are investing into a startup, and a startup might be successful, or it might fail, or a startup might be a scam as well. Now, lastly, I want to talk about the coin market. So the price has dropped slightly yesterday. That was because of the FUD of the ACC and CFTC that they're going to have a meeting. It turns out there was absolutely no meeting, and it all started with the small post on Wall Street Journal that says the world's second most valuable cryptocurrency is under regulatory scrutiny. It turns out that there are some people who tried to reach out to SEC and CFTC on their phone numbers, and it turns out there was absolutely no such meeting plan. But there has been a FUD, there has been a market drop, guy. Clearly, it goes to show how a news can impact the prices, right? But of course, people who know, like for me, Ethereum was never a security, and it won't be a security, right? Because it doesn't promise you any fixed return. It is a decentralized network, just like Bitcoin. So if you know that, well, Ethereum is not a security, and there is no way they can declare a security, you are pretty much comfortable with whatever decision they come up with, and you're not influenced by FUD. And that is why knowledge is so important, right, guys? So thank you so much for watching. Let me know, what do you think about this post from Binance about ICOs? Let me know. Do you think the ICOs are here to stay? Do you think the ICOs can be highly profitable if you know the rules of the game? Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.